Hello again, it's Tuppence and welcome back to another Froggy Friday. This Froggy Friday is inspired by this sticker. I was printing out some other stickers and I wanted to fill up the sheet and I found this one. And it kind of reminded me of what I did last week where I covered my frog in a jewelled coat. And I think I want to do something very similar to this one. I like the idea of the coat that this elephant is wearing that covers the back and the head. So that's what I'm going to try and replicate on this frog, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. First, I'm going to need my frog. So I have my mould and I've got 4 ounces of craft resin already mixed up. And this is Mermaid Aurora powder. Comes in a pack of 6 and it's from Temu. So I'm using the one with a blue cast to it. And I'm hoping that when I mix this up, it's going to look like a moonstone. So I'll put a dollop in there and then I'm going to mix this up. I used my Resiners dual head mixer to mix up my resin. And I'm just going to scrape the sides of this and the bottom to make sure that there isn't any raw resin left in there as I am mixing this powder in. I don't know if you can see that blue that is floating on the surface of this, but it is so beautiful. And I'm really hoping that that's going to look like moonbeams in the frog. So let me just put the lid on that and put that aside. And this is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to scrape off my stick and give that a quick wipe on a paper towel. That helps to eliminate the mess. And now I'm just going to do a straightforward pour. I will add my eyes afterwards using some paint. I prefer that than the little eyes that you fix in with resin. So I've sped this up. I'm just pouring it in, filling up all the little toes. And then once I've got all of this out, I'll just scrape the last bits out of my pot. And it is the perfect amount for this frog. So there's a couple of places you need to worry about bubbles. So I'm taking a stick and just teasing it out from under the chin. And apparently it was a clumsy day, so I dropped my stick. No worries, cleaned it off and started again and just did it under the hips, which is another area of concern. So then it was just a case of leaving this to cure and then coming back for the demold. I'm loving the blue cast that I can see on the back. It looks really iridescent, so I hope that's going to be there all the way through. Just pull it off the hands. Actually still coming out quite easily out of this mould. Lovely, no bubbles. And yeah, I can see that cast. I've got a little mark on there. It might be something in my mould. I'm not that worried about that because I am going to cover that up. But I can definitely see a moonstone cast. I'm sure it's probably better in real life than it is on camera. Next, I need to decorate it. I have got this rhinestone ribbon, which is self-adhesive. I'm going to use that to make the outline of the coat. So I'll cut off a chunk. And there's a little excess glue along the edge, so I'm going to trim that off first. Then I can cut strips 1 gem wide, and I'll use that to make the outline on top of the frog. This is just going to give me a boundary to put my UV resin and fill in my colours. So I'll pop on some music and you can watch me make this.
Out from the silver pond he leaps, a shimmer stitched from lunar light, jewels on his back in secret heaps, glowing bright against the night. Moonbeam frog on a midnight run, skipping through the stars one by one, with a sparkle trail in the velvet sky. He scatters dreams Moonbeam frog on a midnight run, skipping through the stars till the night is done. When morning comes he fades from sight, but the sky still hums with his moonlit flight.
I'm giving the blue a second coat because this is such a domed part of the frog. It tended to pool along the edges and pull away from the surface, so I want to make sure that everything is covered and I've got a nice even coat. Once I've covered this, I will put this again underneath my UV lamp and give it a cure, and then I can add some more decorations afterwards. Okay, that looks good underneath the lamp. And that left one space that I filled in with the gold. And again, pop this under the lamp to make sure that everything was cured. I've got some flat back crystals which I got in little pots that came full of nail decorations. So they're in varying sizes. I'm going to use a little bit of super glue to position this. Just hold this in place for a second or so until the glue grabs, and then I'm going to twist my stick, which has a little bit of blue tack in the end of it, and that is in place. The largest one is a red one, a pink one that is slightly smaller, and a purple one which is smaller still. I've decided to use stickers instead of any of the sequins. They were just too bulky. So I used my Cricut to cut these out of sparkle holographic vinyl. So I've got a crescent moon. Just try and use my weeding tool to pick this up off of the backing paper. Get it to stick onto the hook. And then I can lay this down in the middle of the frog. So again, I am going to speed this up and put on some music and just decorate my frog with my vinyl pieces. Okay, that's all the stickers on. I've got the moon on the back and then different size stars around the body. So now I just need to paint the eyes, and I'm going to be using this metallic UV nail gel, and I'll play it with this small brush. So I'm just going to paint the silver on. This stuff is gorgeous. It is so super shiny and beautiful to work with. Once I've got this painted on, I can stick this underneath my lamp and it will cure immediately. which is brilliant. I don't have to wait like you would if I'm using the chrome pens. Okay, I'm going to cure this side before I paint the other side so I don't get any smudging. Froggy Friday is a weekly collaboration. It is hosted by Lisa, Girl in the Garage, Karen, The Dragon's Cave, Loula, Nerd Goblin Art, Gert, Gert Creates, and Tim, Bass Resonator. Check out the link to the playlist in the description box below for lots of froggy treats. And here he is. Even though this is very similar technique to the one that I did last week, the silver and the white is giving me a kind of mystical, witchy, ghost kind of vibe, and it's a very different frog from last time. I think I'm going to call this one a magical, mystical moonbeam frog. I'm seeing lots of blue highlights and moonbeams in this frog, and I don't think you're getting that so much on the camera. It's much better in natural light, so please stay tuned for the photos and you'll get the full effect. I think it's lovely, and I hope you do too. And if you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. You can click that QR code up in the corner. It's free and it will help my channel, and you'll be able to come back and see what I am going to make next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.